This is one of my series that I'm going to be doing here, talking about kickstarting campaigns, some things that I'm looking for when I look at Kickstarters, talking about some things that I'm very interested in, and stuff that I'll be reviewing later on down the road. It's basically just for fun. I'm just going to give my kind of thoughts and what I'm excited for on all these games. Each game is unique to the person. So if you like certain games and you feel like, hey, that sounds really fun, then go ahead and buy that game or back it. That's a great thing about board games is each one is based on the interest of the person playing, and it's really great when a lot of people like it. Then you get to play your favorite games all the time. So let's get started. I'm going to show you one of the games that I wish I had the money because I would probably go ahead and back it, but right now I don't. So it's not high on the list. And this one I'm going to start with is called Terraforming Mars. There's multiple versions of Terraforming Mars. If you haven't played the game, it's excellent. It's an excellent game. The first one's a little more complicated if you get the original Terraforming Mars. Then they have I think it's spelled Ares, Ares, I think is. It was, I think, pretty much a exclusive for Target. That's where I bought mine. Sometimes Target does, you know, buy um, two get one free, or they'll do sales on board games. So it's always a great idea to do that. But the one I'm starting with now is going to be Terraforming Mars. It's 20 minutes to go, so there's not a lot of minutes left. Um, if you're watching this later and you don't get the chance or haven't got the chance to do Terraforming Mars, there's plenty of chances usually later on to get on a pledge manager or buy it in retail. The only reason you do Kickstarter stuff, if you're not familiar with Kickstarter or have done a board game, is stretch goals. Some have great stretch goals, some do not. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you're going to save 20% on the board game by buying it online. Well, yeah, but you're also going to have to pay the shipping costs involved in the board game as well. So if you're not really eager for the game, or you think that the components are not worth it, then you can always buy it in retail setting later on. That being said, we're going to talk a little bit about Terraforming Mars, the dice game, and what it is. It's a Terraforming Mars. Most of their games are very, very, very good. There's a lot of little mechanics in it and stuff. Stronghold makes this game. It's really good. Like you can see here, I was telling you about. It's a $50 value, and you're getting it for 35. Well, yes. The only reason you should be really getting on a Kickstarter campaign and early funding a game, I think, should be stretch goals. Unless you're getting some sort of swag from it, that's only that. So as we go through, kind of keep that in mind. Um, the heavier the box, if you're new to board games, the heavier the box, the more complicated that game is going to be. It's going to be very, very complicated if it's really heavy, or there's a lot more things to consider. If you pick up Gloomhaven and you don't have the dividers in there, it's a very heavy game. And then, yes, it is complicated, but there's so much content in it, and that's what kind of brings up the complexity of it. You pick this game up, it looks pretty small, like a smaller box here. You can go down, you can see some of the information here. It looks like you can play it with yourself, as in solo, all the way up to 4 people, which is a pretty good play group. I like games that can branch into that 6 player category, but 1 to 4 is a pretty strong thing. You can see it takes 45 minutes, which is really cool. It's a short game. Some games in Terraforming Mars, it's an hour and a half. Some go to 2 to 3 hours, depending on the people's experience. They're always trying to get people into this genre of Terraforming Mars. It's such a great game, and I applaud them for doing different avenues to get different interests in. Some people are dice rollers. I love dice games. I like dice placement kind of games like this one. So it's really good to get new people into the hobby, which is really cool. All these have little icons on the dice that get kind of the different effects and everything. If you haven't had a chance, go on in and watch the video of it. It explains it way better than I do. There's a few people that have actually, looks like this guy right here has done a hands-on. I haven't got a chance to go on there and watch it and everything. I watched a little bit of the mechanics of it, but not a lot. It just kind of piqued my interest, and I'm only starting with this one because it's one of the first ones that's going to be ending on the Kickstarter campaign here. When you go through here, you can kind of see how each little turn goes. They've got great little flash animation, or I guess JavaScript now that Flash is pretty much gone. But there's great little mechanics. The cards are just like the normal card. It just makes it a little easier, the whole playthrough and everything. But get a chance, go on here, get it and back it. It's really great. A lot of people into astrology and Mars and expansion of hopefully the continuation of human race on a different planet. So it's a great way to have something that's very interesting and that's kind of that could happen. It's really neat to see all this stuff. Um, Go on there, check it all out. Watch a couple of previews of this stuff. It's really neat. I like to hear your comments. Are you excited or did you back Terraforming Mars? If you did, tell me what you're excited for. If you think the simplicity is going to be good or that your play group would appreciate it more, go for it. Like let us know what you're thinking about. Hopefully, some other people will get on there as well. But it's a great game. All right, going to the next one, Redwood. I'm actually really excited about Redwood. I pledged this one. I love it. I did I think it's called the elk part of it. Um, as a photographer, I really appreciate the mechanics of it. It's a little bit more my speed. Now, is it going to be everyone's? No. Is it going to have a lot of action and a lot of cool things going on? No. I think you kind of will get kind of burn out on it. It's one of those where you bring it out for someone that appreciate it, and then you play it a few times, or anyone that loves nature. Nature games are a good seller when it comes to board games because you get so many people playing it. It's the same thing if you had it like a very easy game like Everdell to learn. The people love art. That's what sells a lot of people's games. Um, I haven't played any of sit downs games yet. But I'm very excited. It looks really good. The mechanics look great. It's very unique. It's got great art. If you're gonna do anything, you can appreciate the art of it, everything. There's some Kickstarter exclusive stuff that I'm going to talk about, and that's why I pledged and everything. You can see here. There's my pledge of $140, and I did the elk pledge, and I'll go through the different pledges and everything. But let's get to some of the pictures, and I'll kind of talk about a little bit. So you have Redwood, the original version here, and then you have this expansion, which is you can see right here. This is one of the reasons you do Kickstarter stuff. It's a Kickstarter exclusive expansion. Um, does that mean the person's never ever going to, or the developer is never going to add something to retail? No, I think they're not going to hinder, or they might have something else, but they're not going to hinder their money they're going to be making. I don't know any business is going to say, nah, let's go ahead and just make a little bit of money versus we can make a lot and then just kind of keep on going. So the art looks really good. This is basically how it works. If you ever play Photosynthesis, the game, you revolve around the sun. There's a sun in this game that actually, just like photography, if you're shooting towards the sun when you're taking a photo, it's not going to be great. You're going to have like the solar flare pop up on the lens. All your colors are going to be weird when it comes to doing um, the picture. So it's really cool that they took this mechanic and they added it into the game as like you know and you can see it here. This is the sun, and they actually are negative at the end of the game when you score up points. But it's really neat that they have that kind of mechanic in it. The art here is beautiful. These two little redwood, like slices of tree, you can see these pegs in it, and I'm going to show you why I backed the elk pledge and stuff. But those little pegs hold these little, and I think they're all going to be transparent. All these pieces, but they're showing it right now that it's brown, and it could be. These are movement. You'll place a pawn on that circle, and hopefully the Kickstarter will show a little bit more in that. But you place your pawn on that little circle. So, example, this is a green player. You use this one, and you could use it, and it can reach and get in position to take any kind of pictures to get max points and everything. Below on here, and they have like these neoprene mats that are really cool. That you can do kind of like pentagraphic, I think pentagraphic. Anyways, a pentagraphic picture of all the different forest scenes and everything like that that you um, that you'll take, and you get extra points by completing that. You can, when I was telling you, like, oh, this one had the sun in it, so you'd put a sun on there, and it would be negative points later on. But it's got a lot of detail. All the figurines are really cool. There's like little animals and nature that you're trying to take pictures of, and you can see that put on these little cards. There's a tree, a flower, and you had the sun in there. Well, there's a deer, and you get points for taking certain animals. It's really cool. I'm really excited for it. This is the base one right here, the Redwood. You you get good things, and this is a really good point about Kickstarter is they do a little bit more for their very big supporters, right? You're helping them get their game out. They're doing a little bit more into the campaign and everything. You can see here they're gonna have wooden components. They're gonna be varnished. They're gonna have linen, on the cards or whatever, or the detail of the boards. So it's really cool that you're getting all these things in a game. And I think for the pledge amount, it's really good. You get an insert for this. It's beautiful. You get a great looking board game that when you bring it to the table, people are already like excited. The rule book looks really good. It talks about like it's got pictures and stuff. It's not just text, walls of text. It gives you good insight on it. Um, you can see right here these are like upgraded components where you get wooden stuff, and then if you look on the back, which is really cool, they have a little hexagon. This little hexagon here goes and links into it. You can see these. This is where all your little animals and stuff are going to be on there. They talk about the personal supply boards and where you put your pictures on it and everything like that. It looks, look at that. I mean, these little details and stuff are really neat. You got neoprene disc, and that's great because if you have someone that touches that table, man, and they move, and you're working on a placement game, that's very annoying. So it's cool that they have like a little neoprene disc on it, so they can stay there on the. I didn't even know that until we were talking about it now. That's really cool. There's a lot of little things that you can get that just makes the game a little bit better and everything. So there's a lot in this game. Like I said, the this is I forget what version this one is. I'm gonna go down here. This is $65. It's great. It's a great price for the components that you're getting. If you're playing like Parks, you get similar kind of feel and the same thing, but you're getting a little bit more in here. So I think it's fair what they're asking for on the pricing and everything for the base one here. These are the cards. You get different pictures and scenes. So you got these beautiful pictures that you get later on, and then objectives. These are like bonus objectives that you get extra points at the end of the game for getting like right here. You get two pictures of pine cone, or you see two animals with pine cones. You get extra points there. Here's all these little pieces. So these clear, transparent little cones is the objective of the lens. So it's almost like your aperture, where you're looking and you're only getting focused on a certain element. So this is almost like an element or zoom lens. Like, can you get all of it? No. If you zoom in, like this long one here, if you're taking a photograph of mountain range, right, and you want to get a tree on that mountain range, and you have to zoom in to way out there to get that with a really good lens, you're not going to get everything in that picture. You're going to get that one picture. So it's great that they did that. You have these wide angled lenses, and you got like these narrow where you're getting more zoom shots, and it's really neat. It's a really neat mechanic, especially if you're a photographer and you have photographer friends. They're gonna really love this game. It's really neat. That's cool that they bring card sleeves. I love to sleeve all my stuff. I like to protect it. I want to use it for a long time, and if I do decide to sell it later, it's in good condition and people want to buy it. So it's really good. It shows people that you care about your games and that you want to keep them in that. So it's really cool that they're given these these little bonuses here that they don't have to, but it's really neat that they do. Um, this one looks like the box for both of them. It's really neat. It looks like you can open it up or put them side by side on a shelf, and they have a beautiful picture. So you might see this in YouTube videos later on where people are talking about board games, and on on the board games and everything are going to be this beautiful picture, on your shelf and everything, so you can kind of show it. was really really cool. This is expansion that's supposed to be exclusive to the Kickstarter. We'll see that later on if it will be or not, but this is going to be exclusive for it. It's probably just a few more components. Looks like, a few more cards that they're going to be adding, some new animals maybe. Yep, yep. It's got like, what's that, a chipmunk? Yeah, chipmunk, otter, porcupine. Looks like either a fox or, oh, that might be a wolf. And then this looks like a, man, it looks like a lynx or something, or a bobcat. And then black-tailed deer. So it's pretty cool that they're actually bringing in some unique creatures in America, putting it in the game and everything. So I'm really excited. Just like if you've never played Wingspan, they're coming out with the I think it's called Asia expansion, where it's like Asian birds that you get to play with. So it's really cool when you get these nature games and they're taking in actual features from different continents, different environments, and they're bringing it in, and it's very accurate, or just a cool experience. Like someone that appreciates that, it's gonna hit a little harder for them when they're playing the game, and they're gonna appreciate the game a little bit more. Just like this game brings in the photo element to it, people are gonna really appreciate that. That's great, because if you just roll out a nature game, people are not gonna really care. So this is the expansion. It's talking about everything it adds in there. It's got some new, some cards, panorama. Aha! So panorama. These are really cool. New little elements that can add a little bit of uniqueness to it. Looks like you can take a boat and a bicycle for this one. I have no clue how that is, or that works. There's a lot of people that did great videos on this. They have a really good video talking about the mechanics of it, and it's detailed. It uses components, and it's not just someone like da 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 da, and it's not like a Kickstarter campaign. That's the worst thing, is or not a Kickstarter campaign, but it's on Tabletop Simulator. They don't even have a physical copy showing you. Like, you have to be really invested in that company to to do that, and they have no physical or artistic what it's going to look like. Maybe don't want it, you don't want to buy it. So it's cool that they're showing all this stuff so you can get an idea of everything. Here's these icons that have those little neoprene mat underneath it to keep it. Here's all the add-ons. These are the discounts that you can get different things for. There's the neoprene mats for everything, the wooden tokens. Here's 210, everything like that. And then, do you want it all and more? That's what I did. I did the elk pledge here. The big box, I guess you'd say. It was everything. I'm pretty sure. So, yep, yep, there it is. So this is one I did. I just got this huge box, and it's got everything. It's got the core game, that expansion. It's got the neoprene mats. It's got the wooden tokens. It's got all the stretch goals, and I'm about to go over the stretch goals with you. It's got that huge box to hold everything. It's got those trays. I love that the tray part of it. It's got these big, these, um, you know, these are all work in progress. The pictures and everything that they're doing here. So as you see, WIP, it means they're still working on it. A lot of Kickstarters are like that. It's talking about this one right here. It's still a little mini expansion. They're still working on it, but they're going to be doing that. And then it has this place to put all the wooden tree cuts and their pegs without having to do anything or getting it damaged. See, so it's really cool. You got different pledge levels, and they go by when you go in the Kickstarter campaign. They're going to go by the Fox Pledge, the Bear Pledge, and the Elk Pledge. The one I chose was the Elk Pledge because you get everything involved. The Bear Pledge is the expansion, and then the Fox Pledge is just the game. So you're paying almost double for the Elk Pledge, but you're getting a lot of content and you're getting a lot of cool stuff. I'm a real physical touch kind of, like I like to touch it tangibly, touch the elements, and I like that they're pretty cool. So it's talking about here too, like I said previously when I was talking about the Kickstarter stuff. Um, is it worth it to take 15% or 10% off of the game? That's basically a marketing thing that they're doing. Um, because you're going to have to pay for shipping. So don't get sold into like this marketing thing like, hey, it's a Kickstarter special edition. You're only going to get 50% off and you're going to save so much money. No, you're going to have to pay for tax, or not tax, but you're going to have to pay for shipping. And then, if you go to any retail store, when they're trying to get rid of inventory, they're going to put it on sale. So, if anything, if you're not rushed to get it, and be the first person to get it and talk about it and play with your friend group and bring it to your gaming clubs, I'd wait, wait for it. I'm not a big waiter, and I want to play stuff as soon as possible and try to help people on Kickstarter, and that's what we did. So right here it talks about the mechanics of it, choosing your templates. There's a moving action and the angled lens, and you can see him that he's moving to take a photo, and he's probably trying to take a photo of this bear here and this flower, and that's what he's moving there. And then right there, he's trying to take a picture of it. If you take a picture of this scene here, like if you see there's like a line there, and there's little white lines that divide that, you're gonna get one of these photos as your picture for your panorama picture that you're developing in front of you on your player mat. And when he takes this picture here, you can see he has two spots there. He's going to get, and it have to be in the part. So I don't think he's going to get this little piece here. He's only going to get this tree, and this looks like probably a beaver when he takes his picture, because he chose that movement action and that lens, and it doesn't count that one. I'm about 100% sure on that, but it only gets these two pictures when he gets it. And then if he has a player thing and he's trying to get beavers with trees, there you go. And everyone's different. Oh, it shows it right there. Yep, and it just explained it. You do not get that. X. Do not get it. So, oh, he got a flower because the flower's on the board too. I forgot to talk about that. So there it is. He gets that. He gets that. Do do do. And he's working his way. Looks like you get a bonus. I don't know what the bonus is. Oh, these are in between. It looks like something to do. Because you did something, you got a beaver, you got a bonus. It looks like. So there's a lot of good mechanics and strategy involved in it. Um, Look at that. There's team modes. That's pretty cool. I did not know there's a team mode, so that's even a better part of it. These guys sit down. It's my first game I think I've ever bought from them. Um, by far, I think my favorite games are probably going to be Roxley, and then it'd probably be leader games. But hopefully sit down, make some additional games. This is pretty cool mechanics, and I'm always excited about doing things. Getting in new developers and people that are bringing in their games and everything. I'd love to talk to you on another episode of what I've currently backed. So I'm going to try to do that. There's some games I've played on tabletop that they actually made the game. Some of them were, in Europe or Australia or Japan or whatever, and they never brought them to USA. So, um, it'd be really cool. I get to see all those games come to life. I backed one of them I'm really excited about that I've played on tabletop, and I'll do another video talking about that. But I wanted to talk about currently what's on Kickstarter, what I'm excited for, what I've backed out of the stuff that's current, and then see what you guys think. Are you excited about Redwood? Are you excited to take some pictures of some elk and some flowers in a meadow and beach your buddies? Yeah, I am. And I'm hoping they'll make more expansions. If I really like it, that's the thing. You get a base game like Everdell, and then you just keep adding and buying stuff. Next thing you know, you've got $500 into a game. So that's the great part of the whole entire experience and everything. So I'm real excited to see what the transport module is going to do. When I get this game, I will definitely let you guys know and show you the unboxing. I'll play it a few times. Hopefully, my friend group will want to play it. If not, I'll go to a game cafe and play with some people that appreciate the game and everything. But they did a really good job. There's the rules of it. It's in different languages, which is really cool. Here's all the stretch goals, by the way. About forgot stretch goals. They it looks like they're doing them by day. Pretty sure it might be money. Um, yeah, I think it might be money related. Some of them do them by day. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter campaigns, some people do day stuff. Some people do money stuff. Like a certain goal in money. Um, and that's really cool. Right there's the first one that they did, which is hey, you get your item, which is cool. And then here's one, you get another this, and then you get better protection from the game board. Lamination, here's linen, each one, look, they're bringing it a little bit better. Oh, this is a little thicker. This is a little bit more. They're doing all that. I'm talking about the big box lid design. Get extra, sheets. These are all just little things. They're stretch goals. They're nothing. It's free stuff, so you can't complain about it. And if you tell people, then they're going to be really excited. That's really cool. Both sides of the wooden pawns are, will be printed. That's a pretty good one. Um, a lot of people's like, oh, well, it's not a huge thing, but it's details. Um, if you get enough people on these social rewards, it looks like they're going to increase stuff and do things. That's really cool that people do that. It's really hard to get people to like, subscribe, or put it on a wish list or something. To as it goes, it's really hard to do that. I don't think I've ever seen one that's done, but it's cool that people are doing it. Like I said, it's like a marketing thing. They do to try to get some people getting on there and talking about it. Here's some Malak stuff that they're talking about. These are stretch goals and stuff. Yep, they're doing it by value here. So sometimes it's days, sometimes it's value. Right here it says if they get to this amount of money, they're going to unlock this one. There's two more sunrise cards, and then the inside of the expansion lid would be decorated. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's check, see where we're at. We want 134, of course, because that's where it's at. The more people get the elk box, I'm talking to you guys, the more we get. 121. We're pretty close. We got 13 days to go, so get on there and check out Redwood. Terraforming Mars, like I said, if you got a little bit of money and you haven't played Terraforming Mars and you want to get a version that's easy to learn, and that's great. There it is. It got backed while we were talking and everything. So if you didn't get a chance to do there, it might be a late pledge if you get on there. You can buy in retail. That's where I'm going to be picking it up if it has good reviews on Board Game Geek. But they did really good right here. Looks like you might be able to still back it. I can't see. Yeah, looks like you can still back it maybe. So congratulations, guys over there at Stronghold, for getting another game out. This looks really neat. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any comments, questions, or anything, or I didn't say something right, or didn't do anything other than panorama pictures, let me know. So, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll tune in next time when we talk about another game or another mechanic or something or some new Kickstarter that's coming out. If you want me to talk about some of the games I've went over, just let me know. I'll be glad to talk to them a little bit. I've done a little research into them. Some of them I just blindly going into the developer. I knew their games are good, like leader games. But if you want to see that, just let me know, and I'll talk to you next time.